All right, the time for tunnels is here. Everything we use is the plastic reusable tunnels. I use the MTH. I also use the Lionel. Not much difference. These are a little narrower. So the first thing I do, I put a hole in the back of each one so we can put a 7/16 inch screw through there. The Lionel already have the little screw hole. Also, on the inside of the tunnel, I use black cardboard. So for the Lionel, it's really simple. I cut these little slits and then they push it on there. Very simple. When it's in place, on the back side, I use a small piece of masking tape just to keep it from moving over time. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. I like to run the train, make sure it goes through the tunnel before I anchor the tunnel in place. Here's my secret weapon for tight spots, a right angle drill. You can even make it shorter by taking the tip out and putting it directly into the chuck. Again, it's just thin cardboard painted black with spray paint. If you noticed, I didn't put it on this side of the tunnel because there's no viewing angle from that side, and it really doesn't matter. It's just a visual to give you the illusion of a long, dark tunnel. All right, this is where things get interesting. I've extended this rope in the past. I've changed it a few times, so I can make it shorter, longer, whatever. I want to put these gondolas, I think I want to put them up here, and there'll be a mount. There'll be a big mountain around it. The problem is they have to go over top of that train right here. So for that to work, I think I have to raise that up. And that's going to look dumb. I got some thinking to do. First attempt. All right. This is just the first attempt at, I'm running out of big lumber. I reused everything from last year. I hate to buy new stuff, but I may have to. All right, here we are. We're in the mining town. I finished the one down there. Forgot to film it, sorry. This is going to have windmills and all kind of oil derricks. I know they don't go together. That's what makes it funny. Okay, I think that's it. This will all be mountains. Oil refinery goes up here, and there's a few more oil related things here. So I think we're going back to blank that out. I didn't mean to say that, Corey. I don't know where I'm going. Stay tuned. All right, here we are. Time for mountains. We've got all of our tunnels in place. We have all the black cardboard on the back to create the illusion of a long tunnel. Now we get into the mountains. You may have seen me put these away. Some are cut up. Sorry for the noise. 2 foot by 3 foot. Very simple. It's a printed piece of white paper. The old stuff was brown. All right, here's how we do it. So hold your ears a minute. Crumble it up, tack it in place. Really easy. While we're doing this, we're also going to fish these wires down through, hook them up. All right, one of my secrets, I'm not sure it's a secret, but to put the mountain, to attach it to the tunnel, just masking tape. Roll it, but roll it on a slight angle. And it just creates a nice long strip of double-sided tape, basically. Really simple. Tack it on there. It's a lot cheaper than double-sided tape. There's no pattern. I'm probably going to go about that high with it. We're going to start in the corner and work our way this way. Tack them in place with these small little nails you've seen several times. With this hammer, it's magnetic on one end and a regular hammer on the other. So you just tack it in and then hammer it in. I always fold the edges of the paper a little bit so it hides the raw edge. Okay, we've come to a joint in the paper. We're going to do the whole tape trick. Roll it on an angle. And then put it in the joint. Now don't leave your paper straight. Put a little crease in it. Gives it some texture. And then stick it to the piece right below it. And as we get to the mountain, or to the tunnel entrance, we'll fasten right here. And then we're just going to tuck the tunnel, or tuck the mountain paper under and wrap the tunnel. It is not difficult. This is not the complicated plaster mountains a lot of people use. This is something we put up and take down. So we try to have something reusable. All right, and that's how quick your mountains are done. I'll fluff them up a little bit and fix this and that, but that's the general idea of it. So get busy. All right, it's been a little bit. One thing I like to do is put the mountain paper under the track. Use the track just to pinch it in place. Saves nails. Also creates a nice cleaner edge. Second thing, when I overlap my joints, you've seen this several times already. I always try to put the joint that you're looking at over top of the other paper. So you get a better visual. You can't see the joint. If you're standing on that side looking this way, kind of like you are, you can't see the joint as well. If I put it the opposite way, you can see the joint much better. So just keep it in mind when you're planning this or when doing this. Where are people going to be standing when they're looking? Did that make sense? I hope so. real simply, the bridges have piers normally that all of the electronics are inside of. I took the piers off this year. So basically, we just have the board, which has 2 screw holes in it. And well, this particular board, the plug broke off, so I had to splice it on, solder it on. This broke, I had to solder it, whatever, a lot of problems. So this, I'm basically just going to bring it around to this side, because this will be a mountain. And I'm going to run 1 screw this way, I think. There we go. Okay. And then push the wires down below the platform for hooking up later. And we'll do the same thing with the other one. So I put both hookups on the same end so I could run 1 wire. Just push those down. And I've already tested all this to make sure it works. You don't need to screw them tight, just let them hang, all right? Now we'll continue with mountains and hook those up later. All right, I'm back with the right snow this time. I got a little frustrated last night. I bought this buffalo snow, and it comes in, it's like really thin and just hard to work with, and it's this fluffy mess that just tears really easy. So anyway, I went and found this today. This is the, again, buffalo snow, but it's the roll. It comes in 15-inch by 84-inch. So when you open it, it looks more like this. So you get a nice sheet that you can work with on the flat areas. The other stuff is fine for the mountains, but for the flat areas, this is what I want. So I'm going to start right here. I'm going to pick up the edge of the track, slide it under. That pinches one edge down. Then I'm only going to glue the seams. That way I can come back and cut pieces out and put roads in, and it's not as hard. All right, so let's get to it. You have to fight it a little bit sometimes. All right, so what I do, I lift the track up, tuck it underneath. This will get caught in your wheels. So to avoid that, use a heat gun, run it along the edge, and it melts and makes the fibers hard, just so the wheels don't pick it up. It's that easy. Just makes them a little crisp. Melts them, shrinks them a little bit. You can't see it from a distance. You won't even notice it. All right, so I'm going to continue putting the snow down. You just, where it hits the mountain paper, I just blend it in a little bit, pull it, tuck it, lift it up a little bit on the top, create tufts. You know, you play with it a little bit and just try to make it look as natural as possible. Push it down, lift it up, whatever it takes. All right, so I'm going to keep doing this. We'll move you back and we'll get a better picture of the whole thing. So. Let's keep going. Okay, so the mountains are pretty much, or the snow's pretty much done. I'm going to add some regular mountain paper, just little clumps here and there. It's like it's sticking out of the snow. I think it looks better. All right, I think that adds a little bit to it. I'm gonna put a few more here and there just to spruce it up some. And then I have to go to the, oh, we have to do this whole side. I'm not sure if you can see that. I have to finish this side where I'll glue it right along the bottom, and then I'll just kind of pull it and create some interesting edges and make it look a little bit better. All right, let's get to it. We're done. All right, snow is finished. I think. I still have to test this ski lift to make sure it doesn't bump anything and move things, but we're done. I'm gonna give you a quick tour around to give a close-up of what it looks like. So here we go. That needs to go down a little bit, huh? Here's the ski lift. All right, here we go. Next step. We have the mountains done, snow's done. Trees. I like to get my trees put into the mountains first. That way I'm not walking over top of my whole layout after it's finished. I'm also going to put all the little bushes in place up in the mountains. It was easy to find the trees because they are labeled. Label, label, label. All right, inside this box, these are all of the mountain trees. These are just old trees that we took the base off of, and they stick into the paper. Very, very simple. So the first thing I want to do, I just put a piece of paper out just to keep the mess off the platforms. Then I just take the lid off of an old Heelys box. They're old. And then I go through and I pick out all the similar trees. Like, here's a nice big tree. So I get all the big trees, and then I'll go through and just place them sporadically so they're not all clumped up in one area and everybody gets a little bit of everything. All right, let's get to it. So we just fill in with these little small bushes, or small trees, sorry. Everything that doesn't get a big tree, just fill it up and make it look more natural. I have a little bit left to do, and then bushes. Trees are all in the mountains now. This is what I have left. I save these, they're the little tiny ones, just filler as I need them in the future. I'm going to take you for a quick tour around just to see what it looks like before I put the bushes in. Mountains are done. Trees in the mountains are done. Now it's time to put bushes in the mountains. Now it's lichen, I call them bushes. But again, it's easy to find the box because it's labeled. This is just extra lichen I have. It's green. I have the color. But if you saw me take the layout down, you saw me put it all away. I reuse this year after year after year. Again, got my box. I just sprinkle a bunch in here, loosen it up a little bit. It gets packed up from sitting. All right, and we are just going to fill up the mountains. Fill up any seams between the paper, soften the edges where it touches the painted walls. just make it look more natural. All right, let's get to it. All right, there you have it. I'll continue this down to the top lake. I'm not going to do the bottom river yet because I still want to leak test it. I haven't done the whole 2 or 3 hour running time yet, so I don't want to put all this work in and then have to tear it out. So I think we're done. I'm going to take you guys on a walk around to show you the finished product.